everybody. Welcome to your January 2017 general forecast with moi. Thank you so much for tuning in. Big happy new year to everybody. It's 2017. When you add that all together, it's a number 1 year. So it's time to get some things started. So before we get started on your horoscope, I just wanted to remind you that this is very general for all of the signs that were born under a certain sign, whether by the sun, the moon, or your rising sign. And if you don't know what your rising sign or your moon sign are, then there's a link that I have below to where you can go to a website and find all of that information out. Especially if you have your birth time, then you can know what your rising sign is. But definitely check out your horoscope for all three every single month. The rising sign will be the most accurate, then the sun, then the moon. So check them out. And don't forget, if you would like a personal forecast that is just for you, boo-boo, under your birth time, your birth date, your place of birth, all that stuff, just exactly catered to you, go to my website, which is indigomoonastrology.com, and we can get a reading scheduled. All right, so now on to your general January forecast. Hey, what's up, Virgo? So this is my lovely board once again, where I'm going to show you guys your horoscope for this month. This time it's for January 2017. So let's get started. All right. So first of all, we have the sun in the sign of Capricorn, a fellow earth sign. So this is a very complimenting energy to Virgo. The sun's been in Capricorn actually since the end of December. So we're going to be continuing those themes of, for you guys, this is your 5th house. The 5th house right here. The 5th house, it rules having childlike fun and getting out there and maybe dating casually, being romantic with someone, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean leading to something serious. It can mean just going out to a lot of fun places. Also, if you own your own business that you started from scratch, that's also this 5th house right here. And there is just going to be more of an emphasis on that for the first 20 days of this month of January, continuing on from what was going on in December. So you can be focusing more on your kids. Maybe your kids need more of your attention right now. Maybe you just feel like paying more attention to them, Virgo. Now the sun will come in a conjunction with Pluto, and this is on the 7th. So Pluto is a very deep transformative energy. It's all about power, and it can bring power struggles at times. It's a little bit on the darker side of life too, but it's a lot of transformation. So there can be, and it's also on a negative side, paranoia. So maybe you get a little more paranoid about your kids around this time, around the 7th of the month. Where are you going? What are you doing? Really keeping tabs on them and keeping track of them. This also goes for romantic relationships. If you are just dating somebody, but you guys haven't established a title yet, which is what the 7th house is. You can become a little bit, just being honest, stalkerish, looking in their phone and checking on their social media. What are they doing? They haven't called me back, and how come they haven't called me, and what have they been doing all day, or you may attract that to you, to within those types of relationships. Maybe you just want something casual with somebody, and around that time they start loking up on you, getting a little crazy, hey Virgo, where you been? Why aren't you answering your phone? Who is that on your liking your picture on social media? So just be careful with that energy when it comes to that. But this can be a time where maybe you realize something about one of those relationships, or about your children, that they're going through some sort of transformation where they need you there, or you're going through a transformation in the way that you see them or have a relationship with that person or with your kids. So this is the sun in a conjunction with Pluto around the 7th. Now we also have Venus. Venus on the 3rd will go into Pisces. Venus represents love, relationships, how you enjoy yourself as a human being in the physical world, enjoyment of the 5 senses. So Pisces is your 7th house, which is your opposite sign. So that rules relationships for Virgo. So Virgo, you guys are some of the lucky ones in love this month. Well, kind of, sort of. Virgos love to keep it real, so I will give you the real on relationships for you guys this month. But Venus, is a very happy-go-lucky, kind, loving energy. She just likes to enjoy the good life. So you may be attracting more partners to yourself, with Venus being there. Or you may just be craving love, craving that attention from another person. So on the 7th, Venus will come in a conjunction with the South Node here in this 7th house of relationships. So, Virgo, here's the real deal here. Now, the South Node, it rules karma, like past karma, past lives, okay? But it also looks like a magnet to me, like a horseshoe magnet. Is that a thing? A horseshoe magnet? Yeah, I think so. And the two round circular objects at the end, to me, they seem like magnetic objects or something. I don't know. That's just the way my Pisces moon thinks, okay? So it's like, what direction is this pulling you? It's pulling you down. Hey, focus here. Pulling you down back down to the past, backwards, okay? So in connection with Venus, that can mean it's pulling you back to the past. That can mean past love relationships coming back to you in your mind, in your memory, in your heart in some sort of way, or a person actually trying to come back to you, or if you are single and you're meeting people, you may meet someone who you feel like, oh my gosh, this is my soulmate. I have such a karmic connection with this person. Maybe they remind you of an old love, so you just quickly latch on to them. I would be very careful with that, because also this is the energy of Pisces, which on the negative side, it rules deception, okay? And also Pisces will come in a conjunction, Venus will come in a conjunction on the 12th of this month with Neptune. Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces. And, it's like a fog machine, okay? Imagine Neptune is like a fog machine. Whatever planet it comes in contact with, it kind of like engulfs it in this fog that causes it to be confused about where it's going, what it's doing, what's going on in the world. So if Venus rules relationships, that's kind of what can happen during this time. You can be kind of more prone to deception, not seeing someone clearly for who they really are, just glossing over all of their flaws, even if they're ones that are hurtful or painful for you. So I would be very careful with bringing back old loves from the past, especially because Mercury, I'll get into Mercury in a minute, but for you guys, Mercury is retrograde in the house of like lovers, so Virgos may be a little bit more prone than a few of the other signs to, old flames trying to come back and rekindle stuff, and you don't really see things clearly, and you might be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's try this again, or people deceiving you in general in relationships. However, on the positive side, Venus and Neptune together is healthy escapism. It can be healthy if you make it that way, which means just getting away with a partner, going off on an adventure to maybe visit a body of water, for example, just kind of being in solitude with another person, getting to know one another, spending very good quality time, just escaping the world with someone else, or even if you're not in a relationship, just some solitude in general on your own, enjoying some time alone, reading some books, taking long baths, like just really getting to know yourself and love yourself so that you can be, more conscious and aware to be in healthier relationships. And also, another thing going on with Venus this month, she is having a lot of conversations with very important players this month. So Venus will come in a conjunction with Chiron at the end of this month, okay? So what that means is Chiron is the asteroid that's nicknamed the Wounded Healer. So it's an area of life where you could be constantly having themes of like pain come up, or, just things that you have to heal from, sensitive areas for you. So for you guys, this is your relationships. Because Venus is speaking to Chiron, and then this is in your relationship house, Virgos. So if any old stuff has come back up for you, this is a good month to heal from it and let it go. Okay? This is a Wounded Healer, relationships. Heal and let go. Or maybe you may find that somebody that you care about, maybe they're going through a breakup and they need you there for them to help them to heal from it. So it can be that as well. So I would say, yeah, definitely with love relationships, just, be mindful of this stuff this month, that it may not always be smooth sailing, and there's a lot of healing and letting go to be done for you guys. Still a great opportunity to escape the world with a loved one and just forget about the past, forget about everybody else, if you can, in healthy ways, that is. Now, Mercury. Let's go back to Mercury. So Mercury rules our thought processes, our communication with others. That includes texting and typing and emailing. And Mercury, like I said, has been in Capricorn retrograde since December for you guys. That means going back. So that's definitely, this is in your 5th house of romance. Okay, so you can be reminiscing about a romantic time in your life. You can have old lovers like try to contact you, singing and remember the time, singing old Michael Jackson songs to you and stuff. I have a Virgo rising friend, and she actually screenshot a message from an ex when Mercury was retrograde in Capricorn, like, oh, I just remembered when, we used to do this, that, and the other. And she's just like, okay. Like, I don't care. You're in the past for a reason, so you guys may have had some stuff like that happen to you within the last month. So Mercury will go back into Sagittarius on the 4th while it's retrograde. And for you guys, this is your 4th house of home and family. Now, Mercury was in the same spot at the end of November of 2016. So this is an opportunity, once again, you may have some of those issues brought back up. 4th house issues. 4th house is family life. It's your home, your actual physical home. It's your comfort zone. So, maybe some family issues. You may have to resolve those once again and once and for all, during this time frame. Then Mercury will move direct, hallelujah, on the 8th. Then she will ease her way back into Capricorn on the 12th. Now, Mercury won't be fully direct and out of its shadow period, which is the time frame when Mercury is trying to get back into the swing of things, and Mercury is your ruling planet. So Virgos, how you can get kind of thrown off of your routine, and oh my gosh, it's like, it's over. Like, you guys can like get really nervy and freak out if you're thrown off of your routines. It's kind of hard to get back on again to the same routine again and back into the same habits again. So that's kind of how Mercury, your ruling planet, is going to be up until the 22nd. But regardless, he will be back in Capricorn, back in your 5th house. So that's, kind of finalizing some things that have to do with romance and maybe your children and maybe your own business, if that applies to you. Now, on the 12th, we have a full moon in the sign of Cancer. So the moon actually rules Cancer and gives Cancer its emotional qualities, if you will. The full moon is when the moon, which is a nurturing, motherly energy, is opposing the sun, which is a more masculine, fatherly energy. And then it's kind of like a mom and dad having an argument. And then finally they have to come to a breaking point where there's a decision made to either agree or disagree. But something has to be done. Something has changed. Okay. And this full moon is actually making some aspects that are very challenging. I mean, it has a good aspect, a trine aspect from Mars in Pisces in your 7th house. Oh my gosh, there's the hair. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm sure you Virgos will notice that too. Sorry about that. I just dyed my hair and like there's hair everywhere. Anyway, so this is being aspected positively by Mars, which is in your 7th house of relationships. And this full moon in Cancer is happening for you guys in your 11th house of friends and groups. So, but it's receiving challenging aspects like a square from Jupiter, a square from Uranus, and an opposition from Pluto. So this is a real like game-changing full moon for you guys, okay? So once again, this is when the moon is in one sign. So it's in Cancer up here, 22 degrees Cancer. That is in your 11th house of groups of friends. And then the sun is down here in your 5th house of romance and your children and your creative projects. Now, on a positive note, what this full moon can bring is what I can see happening for some Virgos is you decide like a creative project can finally be brought out to the world, okay, through social media and networking and working with other people. This can happen for you, especially because Venus is here in the seventh house of other people. So that's like a positive energy, you know, going on for working with others. So it can be finally deciding to like put that website out there, or any artwork, if you're an artistic creative Virgo, you know, putting it out there finally for others to see. This can mean finding a new group of people to socialize with and network with that can result in like a boost in your business in some sort of way, which is the fifth house. So that's that full moon on the 12th. Now on the 19th, we have the sun moving from fellow earth sign Cappy into your sixth house in Aquarius. So this is the Virgo house, because on a regular zodiac wheel, the one that starts with Aries first, if you count 6 signs, Virgo is 6 on the regular old, plain old zodiac wheel, okay? But this is your own personal zodiac wheel, Virgo. So 6 signs from you is Aquarius. That's why it says 6th house. That means it's kind of like a Virgo energy. It's very similar. So your focus is going to be even more on Virgo things after the 19th, like your health, like your routines, like your habits, like your work environment, and the systems that you have in place to make all of that stuff run smoothly and efficiently. So that's the sun there. And then we have a new moon on the 27th in the sign of Aquarius. That's when the sun and moon come together to birth something new. And I didn't see any like crazy significant aspects. So this is just like a very clean, regular new moon from what I saw, to where it's just a new beginning here. So a new beginning, maybe a new job for some of my Virgos that are looking for a new job. A new job opportunity can come up, or just maybe like you decide to go on a new diet or get a new like exercise routine going on. Something to better your health or your work is definitely on the horizon for you guys with that new moon. Now, lastly, Mars, the planet of action and drive and initiative, and also he can be a little bit impatient and impulsive. Mars is in the sign of Pisces pretty much the whole month of, oh my gosh, see, he's such an active dude. Mars is in the sign of Pisces almost pretty much the whole month of January. And this is your opposite sign, so it's in your relationship house the whole month up until the 28th. So Mars in the 7th house of relationships, that can bring a lot of energy towards your relationships, like maybe wanting to be active with your partner, physically active. Take that how you want to take it. Wink, wink. Being physically active, getting out there and doing some fun activities with them and what have you. This can also bring conflict in relationships. Just going to be honest and real, Virgo, because, you know, Mars can be impulsive. Mars is named after the god of war. I mean, so that brought to your relationships. Hello, it can cause some arguments here and there that are either initiated by you or by a partner. Or it can be just like not necessarily romantic relationships, but just with other people. They can start seeing you in this light where they think you're always trying to challenge them and like be in a conflict with them. Even if you're a peaceful Virgo and you're like, nah, I'm not about that right now. Like, I'm just trying to chill out, you know, and get along with people. Mars in your 7th can kind of bring the conflict and drama to you. So just be very careful with that, Virgo. But like I said, it can bring more passion and drive, which can be a very good positive thing for you. On the 28th, Mars moves out of your 7th house of relationships and into your 8th house. Now, this is the house of like really deep, intimate bonding with another person. So definitely more passion there for you with that beginning on the 28th. I may get more into depth and detail of Mars transiting through here through your 8th house in February next month, because it'll be there for the majority of February, only like a couple days during January. But the 8th house is a house of kind of doing things that are under the radar, that are a little sneaky, if you will. So try to avoid like getting involved in like shady and shicey activity, Virgo, but definitely you may be a little bit more like reclusive, more under the radar with your actions. I have a friend that has Mars in the 8th house, and they're nicknamed the disappearing friend. Like, we never know what they're doing. Like, they do stuff and they hide and then they come back, and guess what, guys? My whole life is transformed and you didn't even know it was happening. It's like, oh my gosh, okay, I guess disappearing friend. So that's Mars in the 8th house here. So that's it, Virgo. I really hope you guys have an awesome January, and hope you have a great new year.